A much needed win after 2 losses in South Dakota. Better energy from the guys. We worked on it. It's still very rusty, but the energy itself was really good. And had some guys to step up tonight and do some things that they haven't been doing. Even though we don't have the full crew hitting on all cylinders, there's been enough guys to do what we need to get done to get a win. And we just need, once everybody starts hitting on all cylinders, be pretty good. And get DeAndre back, be pretty special.
Terry?
How you doing, Coach?
Hey, what's up, Terry?
Hey, man, just without looking at the stats, man, this game help with your eye test? Did it pass your eye test without looking at the stats and how you wanted to flow, just the eye test?
Well, it passed my eye test because of the energy that we played with. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to see guys that were checking in the game, starting the game, and the guys checking into the game, playing with energy, and it definitely passed the eye test.
Christian?
Coach, you said after the VCU game that the team had played selfish over the past 2 games, finished with 21 assists tonight. How pleased were you with the ball movement compared to that VCU game?
Very pleased. It's something that we've been doing in practice for 3 months, and then all of a sudden we get to South Dakota and we stop passing the ball. You know, we have a rule. You know, it's one more. You get a pass, you make one more pass, and we didn't do that well in South Dakota, and we did that well tonight.
Jason?
Hey, Penny, wanted to ask about your substitution pattern in the first half. Was that like a concerted effort on your part because the guys were, you know, you wanted them to play with more intensity, and so, you know, just naturally you wanted to save their energy, you wanted to rest them a little bit more, or was it you know, what was the reasoning for your substitution pattern? And then is that something that we can expect going forward?
Well, for some guys, it might have been making the same mistake a couple times in a row and being brought over to the sideline to correct it. And the rest of it was just playing with our strength was in numbers. You know, we wanted to get the energy up, and you can't play longer than 3 minutes at a very high intensity. If you are, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So we were trying to get bodies in there early to wear those guys down, and we were successful with that. So it was 99%, you know, just resting the guys for because of how hard they were playing, and the rest of it was just, you know, guys were out of position.
Along the same lines, the starting lineup, you made the change with Damian and Boogie going into the starting lineup. How did that go over? Right? You know,
well, it doesn't matter how it goes over. You know, I just felt like it was a change that we needed. And, you know, Landers is going to get back into the starting lineup. It was just some disciplinary things that we did with him. And that's about it. You know, with Damian going in for Alo, Damian was playing better than Alo. And, we'll just keep pushing the guys for greatness, and whoever gets out on their floor is ready to play.
Danielle?
Penny, I know you guys tried to de-emphasize some of those lower percentage mid-range jump shots, but it seemed like tonight, if it wasn't a shot under the basket, you know, it wasn't going in as much as it probably should have. What did you see from the shot selection?
You know, we had great looks at the basket. I don't think there was one three-pointer contested. We ended up being like 6 for 26 from 3. And the game against VCU, we shot it poorly as well. When you're getting open looks, you know, we do a lot of shooting. You just got to make the shots. And I know it's a different gym when you're at our practice facility and they're making everything, and then they get into the arena. So it's probably more practices here. But guys got to step up to the plate and make shots during the games, because wide open shots, if we don't make those, it's going to be a tough game for us. If we make half of those, we win by 50 points.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, what 2 things you were proud of that you guys did today, and what 2 things you think you need to improve on for the next game going forward?
Well, energy and assists. Energy and making an extra pass for sure. I think what we need to improve on is less middle drives. You can't give up middle drives. You know, we're not trying to do that. We're trying to keep guys in front of us. So that's one thing that we have to do. And then we got to rebound better. You know, I'm challenging DJ Jeffries, Landers Nolley, Lance Thomas, and Moussa to all get 40 rebounds as a group. We didn't come anywhere near that today. So I feel like if we can get that from them on a nightly basis, then we'd be great. DJ had 1 tonight. He had 10. He was averaging 9 rebounds a game in South Dakota, and then he only had one tonight in 20 minutes. So we got to get their mindset on finishing the defensive effort out with a rebound.
Mike.
Hey, Penny, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
One of the things you need to do now is put them back-to-back. Obviously, when you were in Sioux Falls, you had a really good game against St. Mary's, and then we know what happened from there. With a game just 48 hours away, how important is it to string together performances now, especially since you have these 3 games at home before you got to take on Auburn in a week or so?
Yeah, it's very important because I have things that I need to see before we go on the road and play against Auburn. And that's why we're mixing up a lot of groups. That's why we're playing fast. That's why when we play in the half court, we're figuring out which guys are more aware than others because the rotation is going to get cut shorter in those bigger games. And we're just seeing who's who. It's almost like an audition, really, when we're out there playing because when you get in those bigger games, the guys that are bringing it are the guys that are going to play. And that's where it's going towards.
And for you as a Memphian, you've played as a Tiger, you've coached as a Tiger, you've sat courtside for NBA games in this town. How weird was the forum tonight? I know you appreciate the 3,400 fans that were out there, but just tell us how weird it was to be out there playing a real game when it seemed like nobody was in the stands.
Yeah, it was very weird. Obviously we're used to having 16,000, 17,000 fans in the arena. And just to have 3,000 was one, and we needed it because in South Dakota there were no fans really. There might have been 100 people in the building in suites, but nobody was actually in the stands. So to get 3,000 people was fun to see, but it wasn't noisy. It can't get really loud, and I kept telling the guys you gotta pull your own energy from one another because you're not gonna get it from the crowd.
Jason.
DJ, there's no secret he's struggling. How do you handle his? Everybody's different. Everybody's in their own individual. So when it comes to him, how are you sort of approaching trying to get him out of his funk?
Well, just rebound and defend. I think the game will come to him. The way that we run our offense and getting him going downhill, he's not going to continue to miss those little mid-range shots, or when he gets to the basket, I feel like he's going to finish those. But defending and rebounding, he can't never have one rebound in the game because he's too athletic and he's too good. He was averaging 9. So on a nightly basis, he needs to focus on rebounding and defending. And I think the game is going to come to him. So, he's so talented. It's just watching him go through this little stretch. It's something that I never thought I would see from him, but it happens. But you gotta get it back for us in other areas.
And I don't know if you saw or heard what Moussa said just a few minutes ago about how he got his butt kicked in South Dakota and, couldn't let that happen again. That's the right attitude, right? Like that's how you want somebody like him to react to how he played last.
Absolutely. I mean, Moussa is a kid that, man, he cried like a baby after the tournament because he felt like he let everyone down. And I told him, man, you're just learning. And that's how much he cares. And he doesn't want to let the city down. He doesn't want to let the school down. He doesn't want to let the teammates and the coaches down. And all he does is work. This is a kid that, he jumped his senior year to come to college. So this is all new to him. And he's out there in 19 minutes with 14 and 10. He's only going to get better. Obviously, his defense is way ahead of his offense, but his heart is in the right place. He told me not to run any plays for him. All he wants to do is set screens, rebound, and block shots. And that's what he's going to focus on. So how do you not love a kid like that?
Danielle, last question.
Hey, Penny. You started Damian tonight, who had been playing better, as you said, and it seems like, he really has been showing up big on the boards and on defense. But tonight, Alo came out and 6 assists. Lester had the same. He seemed like he was going more on offense. How do you kind of weigh two players with very different skill sets at the same position and, decide who on any given night you kind of want to give the edge to?
Yeah, well, it's just the feel for the game. Damian has been playing better than Alex, like I said earlier, and he just does all the intangibles. He goes to offensive rebounds. He gets deflections. He gets steals. He's doing better on the assist-to-turnover ratio. And Alex is just, when you get kids from homegrown, they put so much pressure on themselves, and then they read social media, and they believe everything that's said about them, and then they start putting more pressure on themselves. And that's the one thing that Damian doesn't. He doesn't put more pressure on himself. So he goes out there and kind of relaxes more than Alex. And Alex came out tonight in a bench role and had 6 assists, and that's what we need from him. And Damian, he's gonna bring that energy, whether he's starting or not. But having him in the starting lineup gives us more length and gives us more opportunity to get offensive rebounds as well. And I guess on the nights that I played, sometimes I play them late together because they're so good defensively. But the nod will go to the guy that's playing the best, and that's what it's been for those two guys in these first 2 years.
Landers, you had a good night tonight coming off the bench. If you could just kind of talk a little bit about your what you saw out there tonight and how you felt.
I saw opportunities from my teammates, getting me the ball, finding me, good situations, and I felt good.
Mark?
Hey, Landers, what was just your reaction to your reaction and the team's reaction to the lineup changes that Penny put into place for this one?
Our reaction it wasn't nothing major. Next man up. We support the next man just like we want them to support us. We weren't doing our job, and the next man stepped up, and we got the win.
Did you feel just more comfortable as a unit out there today after being able to reflect on what happened in South Dakota and having a couple days of practice?
We felt amazing. Bounced back from 2 tough losses and just had to get back to having fun.
Thank you.
Jason?
Hey, Landers, when lineup changes are made or when lineup decisions are made, are there discussions with you guys about why they're being made, or is it just you find out what your assignment is and you just go do it, or does Coach Penny talk about it at all?
When the lineup change happens, you kind of know why it happens. So if you already know, it's nothing to be discussed. You just come in and do your job and try to earn your spot back. If not, just come in and do your job and help the team win.
Danielle?
There were a lot of substitutions tonight, especially in the first half. Landers, it seemed like, guys were coming in and out at every minute almost. Is that why you think there were some opportunities, wide open shots that were missed? It seemed like you guys were maybe a little bit unsettled early, but kind of just kept persisting through that.
We play so hard, you have to sub that way. So the opportunities that we miss, we're going to make them next time, and we're just going to try to get a win.
Mike?
Yeah, Landers, when you guys got back from Sioux Falls, Coach kind of said you guys just were soft, and he really motivated you guys to get it done tonight. How important was it to just get back on the floor, play a little bit better, but also to get a win, to kind of forget what happened when you guys were on the road in South Dakota?
It's a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call for the team, which we needed. Going to South Dakota, we needed a wake-up call to see who we were. We found our identity, and we just looking forward, trying to keep the win streak going.
How important was it to get stuff done tonight that you can build on?
Very important. We having fun. We winning. We just trying to keep it going.
Jason?
Besides the win, Landers, was there something that happened tonight that stood out to you that was, encouraging, that you could sort of take with you and build on?
It was a lot of funny stuff that happened tonight. Coming off the bench, you see a lot of different stuff that you don't normally see starting the game. So for me, coming off the bench, it was actually enjoyable, and I just saw a lot of stuff that I don't usually get to see.
Danielle?
Can you elaborate on that a little? Like, what kind of stuff did you see?
Like moments where our teammates get a dumb foul, they know it's a foul, like stuff that's said on the bench, like funny stuff. It just like stuff to keep us positive in a positive mindset so when we go in the game, we won't make the same mistake and we just keep having fun.
I also wanted to ask about the rebounding tonight. It seemed like that was something that was really lacking in South Dakota that stepped up big time. Why are you shaking your head and laughing right now?
That was definitely one of the funny things that happened on the free throw line between Moussa and Lester. Trying to get that 10th rebound, that's one of the funny things that I was talking about.
Mike?
Landers, I know you heard about the Forum and how much of a home court advantage it is for you guys, but how different – I know you were in South Dakota, but this was at home, on your home floor. How How different or weird was it to look up and see all those empty seats and only see about 3,000 fans?
Coming from where I came from, it wasn't really different. So we enjoyed the fans that came out, loved the support, thanked them, and it was just really different from South Dakota.
Hey, Moussa, it looked like you were sitting right there with Landers as he was kind of laughing about this thing that was happening during a free throw. You want to tell us what was so funny?
Well, it was funny because me and Lester, we was arguing about getting rebound because we all want to compete and stuff. But he was like, "Oh, I'm getting this rebound." I was like, "No, let me get it. I got it." And then he was like, "No, I'm getting it." And we all went for the rebound. Well, we both I got it, and then he snatched it with my hands. Like that was kind of funny a little bit.
So, do you know who got credited for that rebound?
I think I got it first, and then he got it. I don't even know, but I got 10 rebounds. Like, yeah.
And so I imagine that's something that's on your mind to get that first double in college. You knew you were coming up on that.
Well, I know because when we was on the South Dakota, we wasn't playing like hard enough, and then I know we could have really do better than that. And then on my mind, I was like, when we come out here, like we really gonna play hard. Like I was like, my next game, I'm really gonna give it all my best. And I know I'm really good at rebounding and stuff. So I was on my mind. I was like, I'm gonna get a lot of rebounds.
Mike?
Moussa, congrats. But, Penny questioned y'all's toughness, called you soft coming out of South Dakota. You guys think you answered that tonight and trying to get after Arkansas State?
I feel like we answered a little bit. I think we can be real, we can do better than this the next game.
What does it feel like to be a kid who played high school at Lausanne to play finally in the Forum and you get your first double-double? How cool was that tonight?
It's really pretty cool because last year I was coming out here seeing the game, seeing my brother play Precious, and then today I was like, damn, I can't believe I was like I'm here right now playing. Like it was really amazing to me.
Clayton?
Hey, Moussa, you saw last year, obviously, how packed out this place can be. You saw Memphis Madness as well. How much different was it being in this atmosphere with this building where, there's not a whole lot of people here for obvious reasons?
Well, it's a lot different, but I really thank the people that came today. I thank them, but it's real different because last year it was real packed. The atmosphere was different. It was amazing.
Danielle?
Moussa, what was the difference for you personally between the games last week and tonight? Like, what did you learn in those first 3 games that you think contributed to this today?
Well, first, the first 3 games was a learning lesson for me. It was a lot different, and I learned you have to be tough, and every game count. So I came out today. I was when we came back from South Dakota, I put on my mind I'm gonna. Every game, I'm going to go hard. I'm going to try to go over there, get all the rebounds, go for a contest every shot, and do my best.
Do you think it was an effort thing and there wasn't any, technique that you changed?
It was an effort and little techniques and stuff, and we fixed that with me and my coach. We got in the gym and fixed a lot of stuff. So, yeah, it was a lot of effort, though, because over there, we wasn't putting enough effort. We couldn't do it.
Jason?
Can you describe the mood in the locker room after tonight's win? If you could just kind of paint the scene for us, paint us a picture for what the mood was like in the locker room.
I mean, the mood was everybody was happy because we really play hard. We play as a team, and everybody was happy for each other. That was the mood. Everybody was happy.
Christian?
Moussa, I know this was only your 4th collegiate game, but how much has it slowed down for you already from the St. Mary's game to now? How much has the game slowed down, and how much more comfortable are you?
I'm getting comfortable game by game. The first couple games, I was a little bit nervous. that's normal. That's everybody. I was a little bit nervous, and I got my ass kicked. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna let that happen anymore. So I was like, I started getting comfortable.